Hi, everyone. My name is Dillan Villavisanis. I'm a medical school admissions consultant here with Solomon, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the AMCAS activities section for medical school admissions. So just as a brief overview, we'll start by discussing the purpose of the activities section, and then move on to discussing some of the activity categories. We'll talk a little bit about how you should go about choosing your activities, as well as how you could combine or split your activities to meet the parameters of this section. We'll talk a little bit about choosing your most meaningful activities, how you should describe them with an example, as well as how you could describe your most meaningful activities, give a few other considerations, and then end with the bottom line. So really the purpose of the activity section is to describe your contributions to your community and your commitment to medicine to an admissions committee. So this section really allows you the forum to describe all the things that you've been involved with throughout undergraduate or in other facets and able to make the best case for admissions to medical school. It also allows you to distinguish yourself as a leader and as a community member in a lot of different environments or in a lot of different roles that you've had the opportunity to be involved with. And it's to highlight strengths and demonstrate readiness to contribute to a diverse medical school community. So medical schools are interested in students who will continue their involvement. And one way as a predictor of that is what you've done in the past to predict what you'll be able to do during medical school. So this is a long list of the activity categories here. They include everything from artistic endeavors, research, conferences, community service, extracurriculars, hobbies, awards, athletics, military service, paid employment, shadowing, publications, posters, labs, advocacy, teaching and tutoring. So you could see there's a very wide, diverse list of activities categories that you can choose from. But I would say that most commonly, students can fit their activities within the bolded domains. So this is most commonly community service in a medical setting, community service outside of a medical setting, extracurricular activities, honors and awards, athletics, leadership, shadowing, research, advocacy, and then teaching, education, tutoring. It's not to say that the other activities are not important or the other domains are not important, but most commonly you can fit your activities into these domains, and these tend to be the ones that admissions are most familiar with. And so I'd recommend trying to fit your activities into some of these. So when you're going about thinking about your list of activities, you should start by making a list of all of your activities by each AMCAS activity section. So this just includes jotting down all the things that you've been involved with through perhaps the end of high school if you continued it into medical school, and then certainly, or undergraduate rather, and then certainly all of the activities that you've been involved with at the undergraduate level. And so you should aim to include about 12 to 15 total activities to meet that maximum of the 15 activities allowed in AMCAS. And importantly, you should feel comfortable discussing all of these in an interview setting. So definitely start with a broad list and then narrow down to see what your most impactful involvement was and which ones you actually want to include on your AMCAS application. And so once you have this kind of larger list by each category that we talked about, then you can consider combining or splitting activities to meet that 12 to 15 total. So for example, if you've been involved with several smaller shadowing experiences, you can combine these 3 shadowing experiences into one single activity, so it counts as one out of your 12 to 15. Or if you've been involved in a research experience over the course of 4 to 6 years that has perhaps a couple different components, you can split this activity into a couple different experiences if you feel that your involvement has been substantiated enough to include 2 activities and you have a little bit of extra space. And so you get three most meaningful activities to denote within AMCAS. And I typically recommend having a diverse portfolio of meaningful activities. I think it's nice to include one research, one clinical, and then one leadership or other extracurricular activity. So, especially if you've had a long-term experience in a laboratory setting, I think that's very appropriate to include. If you've had a long-term clinical volunteering experience or clinical exposure experience, I think that's very appropriate to include. And then if you've had one other meaningful experience throughout college, including either athletics or the arts or some other kind of leadership involvement that you're passionate about, I think that would round out the portfolio of most meaningful activities. And so the description of the activities becomes very important because it's the only way that the admissions committee can learn about what you've actually done and what you've accomplished in the context of that activity. There's no other way for the admissions committee to really get to understand that activity on paper unless you've accurately and succinctly described it in the activities section. And so I typically recommend describing activities in about three well-developed sentences. One, the first sentence should start by describing what you did and where you did it. I think it's often surprising to read activity statements that begin by discussing some component of the activity, but they don't actually describe what the activity was or where it was performed. And so that really helps orient the admissions committee and the reader when they're looking at your application. The second sentence, I typically advise students to write about what they achieved and what the output was. And so the more quantitative you can be in this sentence, the better. If you were involved in a research setting, if you produce X number of abstracts or posters, I think that's appropriate to include. If you were involved in a clinical activity and you saw X number of patients over X number of hours, that's also helpful. It really substantiates the activity and orients the reader to what you actually achieved in that context. And then three, I typically advocate for students leaving the activity description with how it's going to impact their future career. So what do you think you got out of this experience and how is it going to impact you throughout medical school or throughout your career? Some kind of statement that alludes to the future or describes how this activity now impacts what you want to do in the future. And so this is just one example based on those three different sentence structures that we talked about in the last slide. So the first sentence, again, orienting the reader to what you did and where you did it. I worked as a research assistant in the Department of Immunology at the Perelman School of Medicine at the University of Pennsylvania under Jason Gordon, studying mechanisms of T cell antigen presentation for 500 hours. So that's a very clear statement of what you did, what type of setting you worked in, who you worked with, and how long you worked there. And then the second sentence, in this role, I performed 100 cell assays, generating data for publication in a paper acceptance at Science. So this clearly describes what you achieved. You did X number of assays, and that data was used for publication in Science. And then the third sentence, this experience has demonstrated the translational nature of basic sciences and motivated my pursuit of a career as an MD PhD. So again, you talk a little bit about what you got out of that experience. It demonstrated the translational nature of the basic science. And then in the last part, you talk about how you think it'll impact your future career or future motivations for your pursuit of a career as an MD PhD. So now on AMCAS, as we talked about before, you also get three most meaningful activities. And again, I typically advocate for a broad portfolio of these, including research, clinical, and then one other leadership, arts, or athletics activity of your choosing. But these provide additional words to describe each activity. And so you have a little bit more bandwidth to be able to convey either what you got out of that activity or what you achieved in that activity. And I think the first section of this should really elaborate on points 1 and 2 for a typical activity description. So you have a little bit more space to describe what it is that you were doing. You could talk a little bit more about the environment, the team, the setting, the department, anything that helps really orient your reader. And then in that second part, that second section, you're given additional words and characters. And I think that this is most appropriate to elaborate on point number 3, which is really your reflection of the activity and how it impacts your future career trajectory. So that can include a little bit of what you got out of the experience, perhaps a time that you failed and grew during the experience, a little bit about how that impacted you in the present during the experience, how you grew, personal attributes that you feel were strengthened as part of this activity, and then certainly an expanded discussion on how you think it'll impact your future career trajectory. So you could talk a little bit more specifically about how you hope to incorporate that in medical school, whether it's in the lab, in a community-based setting, or working with other faculty members. And then as well as how you think it'll impact your career after medical school, whether that's in residency or as an attending physician. And so I think just some other considerations as you're crafting the activity section, you want to ensure that all data is complete and accurate, and certainly anything that could be verified in a web-based setting is matches with what also is reflected on your application. You want to make sure that all the hours are correct, that your mentors' names and degrees and contact information are complete and accurate and up to date. It just helps substantiate and verify the accuracy of your application, because the last thing you want to do is put any doubts into the validity of what you're describing on paper. I also think it's nice to organize the type of activity on the activity section. So, for example, all the research activities one after another, all the clinical activities one after another, all the shadowing experiences together, and all the honors and awards together. So just help organize things to help orient your reader so they can clearly see what your impact was in each of the different activity domains. And then I think another consideration or trick is that awards and achievements can sometimes be included in the corresponding activity descriptions themselves. So especially if you're including a research activity as one of your most meaningful, and you have a couple research awards or papers or posters or abstracts from that, you often will have the space to include that in the research activity section itself. And I think this is nice because it just helps contextualize your impact in that activity and orients the reader to including everything in a single space. I think there are certain awards and achievements that can be standalone if it's a larger scholarship or a grant that's not associated with the research experience or other experience. I think that's appropriate to include as its own activity if you have the space and if the award is large enough. For example, something like the Rhodes Scholarship or the Marshall Scholarship, that's more of a standalone experience. And then I think finally, and perhaps most importantly, is don't include any activity that you wouldn't be comfortable discussing or attesting in an interview setting. I think you want to be able to have a conversation with an interviewer based on all the activities that you've performed or that appear on your application. And I think if you wouldn't be comfortable discussing it in an interview, then it wouldn't be appropriate to include in the activities section, just because everything that appears on your application is a welcome invitation for a discussion in an interview setting. So definitely only include things that you feel that you had a substantiated involvement with, that you'd feel comfortable discussing with a faculty member or a medical student in an interview setting. So I think to summarize, the activity section is really your opportunity to describe what you did and achieved prior to applying to medical school. Again, I think it really is the meat of the application where if you don't describe something in this section, it would be very difficult for someone to understand what you actually did outside of the essay setting. I think you want to be succinct, complete, and quantitative whenever possible. I think sometimes less is more. If you're able to describe that activity in this 3-sentence structure that we talked about in this presentation and you have extra characters, I think it's totally fine to end before the actual character limit. Being succinct and complete is all you need to do to describe your activities in this section. And I think sometimes less is more in that regard. And then finally, and we've alluded to this a little bit already, but how you describe the activity can be just as important as what you did. Again, no one on the admissions committee will be able to fully understand what you did unless you're able to describe it succinctly and accurately. And so I think being able to describe why that activity was important for you, how you got involved, what you achieved, and what your takeaway from it can be just as important as the magnitude of the activity itself. So keep that in mind as you're crafting your responses. But I think that's all for this presentation. Again, being succinct, accurate, and brief when possible in describing activities is probably the most important. And it really is your opportunity to describe what you've accomplished during undergrad and how you want to contribute to a diverse, dynamic medical school community. But that's it for this presentation, and feel free to contact with any questions. Thanks.